I'm Chris Carter, and I'm in the middle of a serious cleaning of my studio. I am finding paintings from 30, 40 years ago that should have been thrown out a long time ago. And I'm also finding some things that I'm glad I saved that I probably could have thrown out a long time ago, and I didn't. So what I'm doing is I'm gathering all the extra scraps of paper, the paintings I don't like, and I'm transforming them all into sketchbooks. So I'll share a few that I've made, and then I have something that I want to talk about. This was one that was, part of it was an abstract nude, but this was the background. This is a lovely book, sketchbook that opens up a lot of pages for sketching, and the binding, it's a 3-section book that's bound with disconnected H, I think it's called. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is a great sketchbook. This is one I just recently made, and it's a lovely stitching, and that too is just old file folders, which make great sketchbooks. This one, some of you may have seen. It's file folders made into pockets so that I can put Reeves BFK paper in it and store dollars safely as I travel. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you have scraps like this in your studio. These were both done in Maine, and the apples were abundant that year, absolutely abundant. So apples were everywhere. This is part of an apple tree. And this is a view of what I call Egan Cove, where my friend Kathleen lives. And this strip is perfect to make a little sketchbook like that, okay? We all have little scraps of watercolor like that. Perfect little sketchbook to stick in your pocket or a bag. And this too has another fun little, this is a 2-section stitching. Okay, so now let's see. This was also Portland, Maine. Okay, so this was one side of Egan Cove, and this was another side of Egan Cove from another painting. In fact, that painting came from this piece of paper that I turned into a sketchbook also. And this was a pretty bad painting, but look at how magical it is when you turn it into a sketchbook. And then I can go back out and create a lot more things. Here we have a painting. This was a landscape that I did when I was camping at the top of Mount Diablo in California. And this also has beautiful stitching in it. Okay, this is a 3-section stitch. So this can end up being a cover, or since it's folded, that I was going to bind it, but I probably won't, this can be a full cover. Here we have a painting. This one's not stitched yet, but it has some of the Zakar work that I did during dance performances, I think. And this is a painting from the Wicomico River down in Maryland. So that's become a cover. So here's another painting. You can see I even signed it. This painting was in several exhibits, but then I thought, it's not something that I want to see in another exhibit, and so I cut it up and made a cover of another sketchbook that I will bind. Okay, these are covers. This, you can see, is part of this painting. And these are all ready to be a series of sketchbooks. I'm not quite sure what I was doing here. I have them numbered 8, 9. I think I was creating neutrals, but I think that they're going to be a very cool set of sketchbooks that can sit on the edge and have nice binding. Now these 3 are near and dear to me. This is one of Betty Stroppel's paintings. Betty Stroppel is a woman who actually taught me watercolor to begin with, and she has since passed on. But this goes together somehow in the middle. This was a study for a larger painting that she did, and she often did not put people in them because she felt that she couldn't paint people very well. And I have all of her sketchbooks, and in her sketchbooks you can see that she worked really hard at painting people. So this is a real treasure. And she has little notes on here for the painting, the final painting that she did. So I cut this up into 3 pieces, and I'm going to make a very special series of 3 sketchbooks out of that. Now, what I really wanted to talk about, aside from inspiring, hopefully, you to make some sketchbooks out of things you may throw away or you may keep and maybe shouldn't bother keeping, is occasionally you come across a painting that may not stand on its own, but it has a hint of something in it. And this is one of those. This I did in a workshop that I took with Don Andrews. I loved his color. I love his color. And I love the way that he handles the figure, especially his nudes. There's something about this, and I don't quite know what it is yet, but I need to look at it more because I think it's going to lead to another series of paintings, hopefully this year. Studio paintings, probably. Some that are characters from my imagination that have streamed in and out of stories in my mind, books that I've written. Part of, maybe I'll go back to a novel I started 30, almost 40 years ago, because this seems to me to be a character in that book. And I like the colors. So I'm not going to chop this one up. And I wanted to present this because this may be the beginning of something new and exciting with direct paint, direct watercolor paint. That's studio work. That's a little bit different from my Orb Abstract series. This series, I can tell, is going to be more storytelling. Maybe connected with mythology. I'm not sure, but there's something about him that I can't quite let go of. So stay tuned. We'll see. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris Carter.